So obviously for younger people and for aesthetic reasons, you know, having a nice shapely body with muscle is great. I can see the benefit, but beyond that, in terms of quality of life or prolonging life, is there any other health reasons why people should be looking at strength training, researching strength training, and doing strength training? Do you think that?
Oh, of course. Well, like I said, Jerry, old people. Right? I'm 51. I'll be 51 in January, right? We're getting older. And as we get older, we lose muscle tissue. And what is the muscle tissue that we lose? Fast twitch muscle tissue. The most critical tissue for strength and power. And so as we age, we start losing fast twitch muscle power, fast twitch muscle fibers. What does that mean for the quality of life? You can't carry your groceries, you can't walk up stairs, right? You can't even push a door open because you don't have the power to generate that. What is the best thing for an older person to do then? To train with heavy weights, right? To target the fast twitch muscle fibers, or train explosively, like an Olympic lifter, to again target the fast twitch muscle fibers. That's the best way to target fast twitch muscle fibers, is either fast explosive movements, right? Like power cleans, squat jumps, or with heavy weight for low reps. So how do we combat muscle loss as we're getting older? By creating programs that are designed to target the muscle that's being lost. You can't take an old person and go, okay, come on, Larry, you're 89, okay, just keep it light and do 20 reps, you know, because you're old, right? Sure, he's working out, but is the workout really helping him? No, he's losing fast twitch muscle fibers. You've got him at weight that's so light because you think he's so frail, right, that it's not doing him any good, you know? So let's really start looking and creating programs for the population that is actually helping them. Right? And so, like I said, for an older person, the best thing that they should be doing is training heavy. Most people would never tell a 70 or 80-year-old person, go to the bench press and do 3 to 5 reps.
No.
Right? Oh, no, right?
And is that
why?
not
Why
dangerous
is that?
for people to, you know, I guess as you're getting older, you've got to be more conscious of getting injured. But
again, if we're talking about somebody who's working with a trainer, right, who has somebody holding their hand, making sure every rep is done properly with the proper form. There's no reason that a person can't perform 3 to 5 reps on an exercise if their form is correct, and once the form breaks, the set ends. Right? That's really when the set should end, is when the form breaks. And so if you're taking somebody who's going through a program with a trainer, they should be able to
identify that.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. And so you're creating better programs. Okay. And again, it's you're not just taking somebody in the first day and going, do 3 to 5 reps to failure. You know what I'm saying? It's progress. You're building them up to that point. Right. But again, it's sort of, you know, the way that a lot of people look at things, it's like, well, that's just off limits for old. You can't train heavy. You're too old. Why? You know, my father's 74 years old, and he's at the booth with me. I don't know if you've ever met my father, but no. He does the grip strength challenge. He's at the booth, all 74 years old, lifting, doing these strength challenges, demonstrating. 74. He's, you know, like I said, age is, you know, I think something that again, it gets back to being fearful and not being able to help people because we put limits without understanding why we're putting those limits on. And so, you know, people like Joe Weider, if you look at Joe Weider, Tim and I were looking at sort of some of the old stuff. He was predicting what are the health benefits of weightlifting. He was predicting that in the future, we would see a need for weightlifting for not just athletes, but for health reasons, to prevent metabolic disorders, heart disease, inflammatory disorders. And now we know that resistance training is important. The American College of Sports Medicine no longer suggests for their recommendations of how much exercise only cardio. That's their old recommendation used to be what, 30 minutes of cardio, what, 3 to 4 times. That was it.
Right, yeah.
That was the American College of Sports Medicine's recommendations for activity. Now it specifically has not just cardio but also resistance training in the recommendations, because we know that the many health benefits of resistance training are metabolic disorders. We know that people with type 2 diabetes who are put on an exercise program, and when I say an exercise program, I'm not just talking about cardio, I'm talking about a full-on resistance training program. You know, the real problem with cardio is it's only half the body, right? Unless you're doing rowing, unless, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we really look at cardio, we're looking at running, we're looking at cycling,
Yeah.
right? It's half the body. You're only using half the body, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so that's a problem right there. So why do you need resistance training? Well, because most cardio is only attacking half the body. You know, it's not stimulating the muscle fibers in the rest of the body. And what are the health benefits of any exercise? It's from stimulating those muscle fibers, right? Which causes change in the environment in that cell, and that changes metabolic changes, structural changes, and those are, you know, the metabolic changes are the things that prevent type 2 diabetes, because it allows you to use fat better. It allows you to control glucose levels, right? And so being able to exercise and train your body to use those fuels properly leads to, you know, better health, because we don't have those, you know, metabolic issues. The body knows, you know, how to handle those substrates, those fuels that we're taking in.